So cool, boy.
Like my sister.
I thought your sister. That's a compliment.
Good? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Phoenix Fan Fusion, and we are with 3 amazing cosplayers from the Road to El Dorado, and bam! So one by one, could you introduce yourselves and your cosplay?
I'm Samantha. I go by 13Cosplay, and I am Chell. Hi, I'm Michelle from Pirefly Cosplay, and I'm Miguel. Hi, I'm Ally from AlyCat Cosplay, and I'm Tulio.
Yeah! All right, cool. So how are you guys having, how's your weekend been so far?
So far, so good.
Good.
I think it's been a lot of fun. I mean, you have to stop by the panels. There's so many interesting things going on.
Yeah.
We hosted a panel, Family Geek Feud, and that went off really well, so we had a good time.
Nice.
And then we met the lead animator of Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, you guys were just telling me that. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Even better to, like, bring their creation to them and, like, showcase how much you like it. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
And then, so cosplay is wonderful, and everyone has a different story coming into the actual, like, culture and everything like that. Could you tell us your, like, origin story and how you got into it?
So I remember back in the day on DeviantArt that I was just seeing pictures of these amazing people dressed up as Naruto characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I really want to do that. But at the time I was like, no, I can never. And then a couple of years passed and a friend of mine told me, you have to come to this really cool place. So I went to my first anime convention and I loved it. And from there, my mom taught me how to sew.
Nice.
And I have now been cosplaying for, this will be my 13th year.
Wow, congratulations.
So, I actually was dragged to Phoenix Comic Con. It was my first ever Comic Con by my brother. I saw all these amazing people dressed up, and one thing led to another. Next thing I know, I'm like, I'm doing this, let's go. And then I met these wonderful people who taught me how to sew, and I've been doing this for about 3 years now.
Nice.
I started cosplaying by going to NondesCon, which is an anime convention in Colorado. And it was kind of the same story as Michelle. I saw people dressed up in my favorite characters, and I was like, you don't have to go to a Halloween store to get a costume, and the rest was history. So that was back in 2005, so I've been cosplaying for 14 years.
Jeez, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice. And then you guys look amazing in your costumes and everything.
Thank you.
So out of all the years that you've been doing cosplay, what is your favorite costume? Whether it be comfort or quality or attention?
So I have this, it's a giant ball gown dress. It's as wide as I am tall, so 5'4" wide. And it is what I call the Assassin's Creed princess that I based off of Ezio Auditore.
Oh, cool.
And so it's a giant ball gown dress, and my favorite thing is I get kids and family that come up to me and they're just like, you're a princess, where are you from? And I'm like, I am an assassin. But it's always fun because they see the giant dress, and so one of my friends calls it Marjorie Tyrelling, in which I pose with the kids, I let them get on the dress, and that is one of my favorites by far.
Nice.
I would have to say one of my favorites would be the ones that challenge you a lot. I know my recent one for tomorrow will be Sailor Moon Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, cool.
And it's, it was really overwhelming just to start, but I'm like, once I got one thing done, it's like, okay, I'm going to continue this, and I'm kind of excited to wear it. It may not be perfect, but I'm like, you know what? I did it. My favorite is Rapunzel from Tangled. I love the show, and I love her, and I do like birthday parties for kids and stuff, so I really enjoy that. And so being able to give back to the community and do stuff like that is really awesome. Along with my Rey costume in Rebel Legion for the same reason, being able to do charities and stuff like that.
That's really cool. So every year we have a new flock and generation of cosplayers that come in, whether they be from middle school, high school, college, whatever. What is one piece of advice that you wish that you got when you were just entering the culture, or just like just even making costumes and all that kind of stuff?
For me, it wasn't really like something that I wish I knew, but I think the biggest thing is just not being afraid to. You don't have to be perfect on your first costume. It doesn't have to be exact. I myself, I'm very much, this is probably the most exact replica costume I've ever done. But typically, I'm generally gender bending. I'm doing variations. And so, as long as you can have fun with it, you take pride in what you're doing, you don't have to have everything be perfect and work out. And
you know, like I look at old photos of my first cosplays and I'm like, we didn't have the wigs back then, and like the fabric, you did what you could.
Yeah.
And it's still some of my favorite stuff to look back on, is seeing like where I started and how far I've come.
Nice.
I think probably the best advice I got was from Allison herself. Was that there's no perfect way to cosplay.
Yeah.
You don't, you know, you're going to have fun. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to other cosplayers.
Yeah.
Do your cosplay, whether you buy it, commission it, make it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much going to say the same thing as them. Don't be afraid to begin.
Good.
Don't be afraid to be a beginner.
Yeah, it is quality advice. Yeah, absolutely. And then, on the opposite sort of end, for all the costumes you guys have ever done, what is the one that you personally love and are so attached to, but like maybe didn't like get a lot of attention at a con or anything like that, or just like you thought it was gonna be a big hit, but it's like didn't or whatever?
So I do have this one costume. It is Jubei from this anime called Yakaryoran Samurai Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very small and not as well known, but I was like, people are going to love this.
Yeah.
And so that would be like my one that I want to remake it. I want to bring it back out. But it was definitely one of those pieces that I think for me it was one of those defining moments of remembering like why I'm doing cosplay, which is having
exactly.
fun and not necessarily like going for the reaction all the time.
Good.
I think mine would have to be Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I, did her town dress. I mean, everyone's done her. She looks amazing. And it's just, I'm attached to it because it's more all you hear is, Little Mermaid. And that's kind of why I love wearing her still.
Yeah.
Like, she may not be the most intricate, but she's comfortable. And definitely it's the fun to see the little kids' reactions.
Yeah.
I think as far as one that I didn't get as much attention as I thought, I did a gender swap Prince of Persia cosplay, and so I put a lot of work into it because like he has this like awesome glove and stuff like that, and so like I put so much work into it, and I'm so excited, and I know the game was really popular, so I was like, oh, I think people are going to notice it, and then I think I had like one person all con who knew who I was.
Assassin's Creed.
And it felt it felt kind of defeating at first, but I think it was a good lesson. Like she said, like we still cosplay who we're passionate about and don't do it for the attention.
Very humbling moment that really puts it back in perspective and everything. That's good. And where can we find you guys online?
So I can be found by 13Cosplay. Best way is my tattoo. Roman numeral 13 space cosplay. I'm also found as Sammy Jean.
Okay.
So.
You can actually find me under Pirefly Cosplay. That is Pirefly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Nice.
And I'm AlyCat Cosplay on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Perfect. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you.
I like it.